Hi everyone, so this is part 2 of Christmas nails. So in the first video I showed you how I did a number of Christmas designs, and what I've chosen to do is break it down into 2 videos because there's quite a lot of designs to get through. I didn't want the video being too long, so this is the second part and I'm going to be going through these Christmas designs. I have already pre-prepped these nail pop sticks already, and again I've tried to go for Christmas themed sort of colours, and again you can use any colours you want, and whatever system it is that you're using. So I'm going to start with this one. So I've actually used Tartan Punk for this one, which is a C&D colour. So I put 2 on and then I've come in with a top coat, so I can come straight in with my design. Now I've got a couple of other examples here just so that you can see that dogtooth effect and how you go about doing it. So you can do any sort of combination, but obviously with it being Christmas I've chosen to do a Christmas tree design there and put the dogtooth into it. Now you can actually get, I'm just going to show you this quickly, because your stamping plate, you can actually get one that's already pre-done. So if you don't want to physically hand draw them yourself, there's a larger one here that you can come straight in and stamp, or there's a smaller one here that you can come straight in and stamp. So it's entirely up to you if you want to go ahead and do that, but I'm going to show you how I do it freehand, because if you haven't got the stamping plate then you might want to know yourself just how you go about doing it. I'm going to do something slightly different and come in with a star. So it is very simple. If you are doing a Christmas tree, you are literally just going to come across here, here, down, and then fill that in. Okay, so it's very easy to do. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a star, which is slightly more complicated, and for that I'm going to come in with my geode, and then we're going to come in and we're going to do a letter A. So depending on where you want your star to be, so I'm going to come up here I think and do, because I'll kind of want one here and one a little bit further down. So I'm just going to come in and you're going to draw the letter A like that, and I'm using again my Erin brushes, and this is Erin's favourite, so it's a nice long detailer brush. You can get a nice precise line. So from this then you come in from this bottom one here, and again you're doing another A but on its side. Okay, and then from there you're joining these 2 lines together to create your star, and then just fill that in. Don't worry too much if it's a bit of an uneven star at the minute, because you can go back in and neaten that up. Okay, so that star's on now. So this is where you can come in and just define it that little bit more. So I'm going to make this bit a little bit thicker at the bottom here, and this one here a bit thicker, so we can get a bit more detail in that when we come to do it. Always remember though, with your star, keep your points nice and sharp, so you're tailing them off nice and pointy towards the end, whatever you decide to do. So same process. And then filling that in the same as we've just done. Perfect. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Pop it into cure. Now coming in with my Geo1, which is the white. Same thing, we're going to take some onto our brush and pop it onto the palette. Load your brush up. So essentially what we're doing now is we're looking at this star and we're going to be drawing lines. So I'm going to start from the center. So this is where it gets a little bit fiddly, which is why sometimes if you have got a stamping plate, in terms of doing clients, if you've got more than one nail that you're going to be doing, it's probably easier to just come in with that stamping plate. And what we're doing is we're doing vertical stripes. Try and keep it precise if you can, and again similar sort of distance, and we're coming up Okay, and then you're going to need to come in and do the same with the bottom one. So it's very fiddly, this one, so you do need to have quite steady hands, and you also need to be a little bit more precise. So this is more of an advanced nail art really, because it's quite intricate. So anybody that's thinking about doing it that hasn't necessarily sort of mastered the basics, I would probably say for you, I would come in with a stamping plate instead. Okay, so you've done that, and now you're going to come in the opposite side. So again, load your brush up and you're coming in the opposite side. So now you're going to create squares. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And like I say, it looks horrendous at the minute. Trust the process, pop that into cure. Now you're going to need to come in with quite a fine, so I've got my teeny one, really fine detail brush, and you come in back in now with your black. So load your brush up, try not and get it so you've got a big globule on the end. And so what you're going to do is you're going to pick out your square, and at the top left corner you're going to draw a vertical line coming up, and this is why it's important that you haven't got any balls of product on your brush. So you're coming up, don't know if you can see that one, yeah, and then you're also, so you're going up in that top left hand corner, and you're also coming horizontally across from that left hand corner of your square. And again, the more delicate you can get this, the neater it looks, the more precise it looks. It looks nice and crisp. Find all the top corners. So here you've got one. You want to come across. So you would have another one there. So you've got to obviously imagine that you've got one there. Come on. So you've got one here. So again, even though you can't see that square, you've got to carry your pattern on. So you've done all the top left hand corner in that start, and do the same in this one. Now because it's such a small area we're working, you've got to be really precise. If you were doing the whole nail, or you'd got like a large section like this, you could make your squares really, really big. But obviously because it's a start, we're having to do it quite small. We're going to have to work quite delicately here. So again, this is why you need to be very precise where you put in your brush strokes, and that's why you need a really fine, delicate brush. And just remember, it's a pattern, so you've got to remember, even though you can't see this black square here, there would be one there. So you've got to come from that corner there and bring it up and across. So once you've done all of the top left hand corner, you then want to be coming and looking at the bottom section of your square. So in that bottom section, you want to be doing your top right corner and your bottom left corner, and you want to be doing a diagonal line coming down. Where you put your two lines in the top left corner, you're moving across to the top right hand side of the box, and you're doing a diagonal line coming down. Okay, from that corner coming down. Okay, and then you're missing this bottom right corner, and you come into the left hand, and again you're bringing that diagonal line down. If you find it easier to cure in between, pop it into cure in between. If you're worried that you might put your finger on and smudge any of it because it's so delicate, then pop it in between. And again, you've got to remember, you've got to follow your pattern. Okay, just want to show you that. Just while that's curing in the lamp, I'm just going to come through and show you. So on this one here, on the outline of the design, I've come in with a gold art gel. So for that one there, it's the Glamour Gel from Bauble. I'll just show you, it's like a really, really sparkly gold. that I've come in, so it's kind of got like flecks of almost like glittering. So you can come in and outline with that. On this one here, I'll just show you, that is actually flexi tape. So again, you can come in, so I've got like a rose gold one here. There's a like a rainbow finish, a purple one, silver, gold, black. So you can come in with a striping tape if you want to. So like on this one here, there's a striping tape that I've used there, like a bronze striping tape. You can also come in with your chrome powders. So there's that one there, which is a nice gold, or you've got this one, which is a holographic gold. You can also come in with some foil gel and pop some foil over it if you want to. Or you can just outline with some gold. So because this design in particular is quite a fiddly design anyway, in terms of the time frame that you've got working with it, you probably aren't going to want to faff around any more than you've already done. And because it's a start, it would be quite faffy if you were putting like your art gel, sorry, not your art gel, your foil gel, or your striping tape. It would be really, really fiddly. So my advice to keep it sort of as simple as you can is to then come in with your gold. So I'm actually going to use this gold from Nail Chemie. It's a really nice like a yellow gold, and I'm going to come in with, oops, Boss It. So it's not as long as the one that I was using previously. So again, you want to load your brush up, and you just work in the corners, and this is where you neaten your design up then. Okay, and if there's any areas where you've kind of gone over a little bit, bodged it a little bit, this is where you can cover it up, tidy it up a little bit and cover it. Obviously if there's a shellac gold that you like, go in with that if you would prefer. I just tend to like these because they're a little bit thicker in consistency, so they're easier to work with for getting like really precise line detail work. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that up close, and that's your finished design. You're going to pop that in to cure, and then once that's cured, you'll pop a top coat. So I'm going to move on to this next design here, this one, which is the stars. Now on that one, what I've done is I've actually used the black art gel, which is like a no wipe art gel, and then I've come in with a chrome powder to create that gold. So you can do that if you want to, or you can just come in with a gold over the top. It's entirely up to you. So I'm going to show you how I did it with the chrome powder, just so that you've got just so that I can show you how I did it, but then I'll also come in and show you with the you just painting it on with the art gel. So you've got the two options there depending on time frame and if you've got a specific colour. So I am just going to cleanse over here because it's important when you are using a chrome powder that there's no trace of any oils or fingerprints or anything like that, because that chrome powder will stick to it if you've got any traces of it on there, and then you've got to try and get that off your design. So I've given that a thorough clean. Just going to pop it onto there, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to draw, oops, my star. So I'll just do the one for now, because as I say, I'll show you how I do the other one. So pop your dot on. You might struggle to see this a little bit because it's green, and then it's quite dark green, and then the black on top. And then what you want to do is, as I've shown in previous videos, from your dot, you've loaded the brush up a little bit, but you're going to use the product here to just drag it into a nice straight line, going up and then coming down. And then over to your right, and then over to your left. You want to make sure there's enough gel on there. And then you're coming up here. Excuse me if you can hear my dog making ridiculously weird noises in the background. He's trying to get back into the house. So you come in diagonally and again diagonally. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to see just about that there. Okay, so that's how you create your start. You're going to pop that in to cure. Okay, so that is cured now. Now then, you've got a number of different options that you can use when you're coming in with your chrome powder. So I'm going to come in with this holographic one rather than my other gold, because that's just a plain gold that I've got on. That's that one that I've used for that one. So I'm just going to come in so that again we've got something different. Now then, you can either use a gloved finger to burnish that powder in. You can use an eyeshadow brush, or if you have a tool, you can also come in with a silicone tool, which is designed to obviously push that in. I'm going to come in with a little eyeshadow brush for those of you that don't have silicone tools so that you can see. So I'm just going to use what's in the lid. And this is why it's important that you haven't touched the rest of the nail. And then what you do is you just, once you've obviously put that product on, you then want to obviously go over with a clean side of your eyeshadow applicator to make sure that it's not adhering to the rest of the polish then. Okay. Just burnish it back in over this area here. Okay. And you'll see where it's grabbed your art gel. So the one thing I will say about chrome powders is they can be quite temperamental. So if you're not very confident with them, or you you know, find that you're struggling, I would probably avoid using the chrome powders and go straight in for your art gels. Okay, so I'm just going to show you quickly how I come in with my art gel. Really simple, really easy, which I've shown you in previous designs. I'm just going to pop one here. So you pop your dot on, same as I've just done. You drag in up, down, one side, other side, and then just those corners like that. Really simple. And there's your star. So that's just as effective as the chrome powder, to be honest with you, and it just saves you a lot of time faffing around. All right, and then you pop that in to cure, and then you can come in with your silver as your centerpiece. So I'll just put a little bit of silver art gel on, and then you come in, obviously place your silver in the center of that one and your silver in the center of that one, and you create that star there. Okay, for the next one, I'm coming in and I'm doing this Christmas tree here. So I've got 2 layers of Sassy Sapphire from CND, and then a layer of top coat. So that is completely dry, and then I'm going to come in and do my Christmas tree. So I'm going to use, well, on this one I've used white. You can obviously use silver, you can use gold, you can use whatever you want. So what I'll do is I'm going to come in with my white, and I'm using cream puff. So I'm just going to pop some on a palette here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to come in with the white, and you want to sort of blob it from the corner and drag it over. to just make sure you're coming in and wiping that brush off. So you need to start at the bottom, okay, and you drag in, you're pulling that brush through the wet varnish, okay, and then you're coming back in, and again you're pulling that brush through the wet varnish, wiping off your brush again, and then coming back in through that wet varnish up to the top. If you feel like, let me show you there, if you feel like you need just that little bit more here, come and do this bit here as well. Okay, and that gives you that nice effect there. And then you can always add some detailing at the bottom if you want. You can always add extra baubles and things on, it's entirely up to you. If you want to put another one up here, you can do, it's entirely up to you, but then you would pop that in to the lamp to cure. Okay, so I am going to pop a little star just in the corner here, and then I will, you can, again, if you want to add a bit more detail, you can come in with some sparkle, you can pop some dots on for your baubles, it's entirely up to you, or you can leave it like that so it's just simple. What I might do actually, just to show you briefly, I've got here, it's like an angled ombre brush. So if you want to, you can actually come in and just pop a little bit so it looks like snow. And then I'm just going to come in with my star. And I'm just going to come in with some snowflakes. Right, and then you can pop that in and cure. That's now cured. So just to finish this one off, what I'm going to do is I am just going to pop a little diamante just in here. So you want your gem glue, which I use the Crystal Nails one. I find this is really good at getting the gems to stay put. I'm going to use these ones here. So these are like little Swarovski crystals. A bit of glue just in there, and then I'm just going to pick up one of these and place it on there like that. You can see them. There's your gem. Okay, so for this next design, what I'm going to do, I've got this one here, and also I've got it in the green shades and then in the pink shade. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to do it with the red, and I'm also going to use gold for this. Is my Nail Chemi one. So pop a bit on your palette, and then you want a dotting tool. So I'm coming in with my larger dotting tool this time. Obviously you can use the smaller ended one if you want. And you've got here obviously your dots, so you want to be coming in, depends, if you want it in the center, obviously place it in the center. I'm going to be coming up sort of higher towards the top, and I've already prepped this one the same as I've prepped the others. So this one I have actually used Devil Red from CND, and then the top coat. So place some gel polish on your dotting tool, and then you want to kind of, I'm going to come in about here, I think. So there's my middle dot. Okay, and then I'm going to place one above, relatively close, and one below. Again, you want it relatively close. And then you want two this side and two this side. So 1, 2, 2, and then 1, 2. Okay, so I've mapped those out, and now you want to come in and pop them on a little bit thicker. So it kind of resembles more of a flower looking pattern, like so. So you've got your 1 in the centre, your 2, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, 2 this side, 2 this side, and it creates that flower sort of looking design. And then you want to come in with, I'm going to use my teeny one. And again, you can load your brush up if you want to. There should be enough here, but you don't need to. And you want to come in and you want to be dragging through the centre of your dot, almost like to a point into the centre. Okay. So that gold actually works really nicely against that red. You then want to choose another contrasting colour. So I'm going to use this blue one because this is the smallest one I have. And in between the petals, I'm just going to place a dot. Okay. And then with your brush, you're going to pull in, make sure that's not too thick. You're going to pull that dot from the centre and you're going to take it into a really thin line in between all the sort of little petals that you've just created. And then once you've done that, you're then going to pull out in the opposite direction. And then once you've done that, you then need to come in and place your other dots in. So I'm going to come in with the other end of my dotting tool, and again using the white, you're just going to place 3 dots, or as many obviously this side as you can fit on. So you can probably fit 2 there, this side, 1, 2, 1, 2, and a bit smaller in here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then you've got your dot work on, and then I've just placed neatly some other dots there as well. So you can either come in and do that with your white, or you can come in and do it with your gold. So whatever takes your fancy really. So I'm actually going to come in and pop some gold dots on. So go back in for my gold, and I'm going to place 1 there and 1 there. Obviously do it as if you were like doing like a quilted design. So it keeps them spaced nicely then. And then it finishes that design off. And then again, you want to come in with, so I've used a little caviar bead in the centre here. So you can come in with whatever colour caviar bead you want to use, or you can come in with a diamante, whatever you want really. So I'm going to use one of these ones here. So I'm just going to use a clear one for this. Just pick it up. Obviously, because this is just going on a pop stick, I'm just going to attach it to the gel that's already there because it's still wet. Obviously, if you were doing this on a client, you'd probably want to cure that and then use your glue and pop the diamante on and then cure it. But obviously, because this is just a pop stick, I'm just going to do it on that. So you do diamantes in the middle, and then that can go into the lamp to cure. So that is a really quick, easy one to do, that is. But it looks really effective. I mean, you saw how quick I actually did that. Yet to look at, it looks like there's quite a lot more work gone into it than there actually is. It's really effective. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and show you a really, really easy way to do these baubles. So this one here is a 3D bauble that I've obviously placed some like caviar beads in, some stars, and then I've put some clear coat over the top, and then I've drew my bauble around it. So that's pretty simple, pretty easy to do. And then there's this one, which again is a quite nice design, really simple. but really effective. And I'm going to show you a really, really quick and easy way to do this one. To make it nice and quick, I've just used Blackpool here. Obviously that's a nice pink background, but again, I've come in for just a plain black background so I can show you a bit of a contrast. Blackpool, two coats of Blackpool, one top coat, and now I'm going to come in with, so this is a yours stamping plate. You can do what I did earlier in one of my previous videos, where to draw a circle you put your dot in the middle, you do your cross, and then you do your circle. Or what you could do, which is even quicker, is if you've got a stamping plate like this that's got baubles already on it, or a circle of any kind, you can come in and do a bit of stamping. So that's what I'm going to do, just to make it nice and quick and easy. So as always with a stamping plate, you do need to make sure it's completely clean. Okay, and then you want your jelly stamper, and you want your scraper, and you also need some sellotape or something sticky, and then you also want your chosen colour. Now I'm going to come in with silver, so I'm choosing this stamping polish, which is Silver Sparkle, and I'm just going to place a blob, nice and quick, scrape over and roll over, pick your design up. Okay, and then with your sellotape, you're then going to come in and remove any parts of the design that you don't want to be there. You'll see there, I've taken off everything that I need apart from the circle. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to just pop a bauble in the centre. I'm just going to do the one. Okay, so you can see I've popped the silver bauble in the centre. Just move these out of the way. Now then, you then need to decide what you want to fill the inside of your bauble. So I've got lots of different ones that I can use. This is a really nice, I'll just show you in the light, a really nice sparkly silvery design. You can go for that, you can go for a red, you can choose whatever you like. So for this one, I'm going to come in with this because I think it'll be nice. Okay. And then you get your brush, whichever one you want. So I'm going to come in this one with my shading art, so it's slightly thicker. Okay, and you're going to just pick that up and you literally fill in the centre. So the reason I went for the silver stamping polish is because I'm using a silver in the centre, and I don't want to have to go back round and put a line around the edge of it all. So what I'm doing now is I'm just filling the centre with the Silver Sparkle. So you've already got your outline, so it's nice and quick, and obviously you can build this up to make it a 3D bauble. Right, so that's filled it nicely. So you can see on the side, it's a bit of a 3D bauble, and you want to get that into the lamp and cure it to stop that product from moving around. So that's now cured in the lamp, and you want to come in and do your bows on top. So you can freehand draw your bows like I've done there, or if you want to just add sort of like a loop and a dangly thread, if you want it to look like this sort of bauble. I want it to look like a bow, so I'm going to come in with a big bow. I'm going to make it easier, so I'm not going to hand draw. I'm going to actually come in with the stamping plate again, and I'm going to go for a different bow. So we're on a black background, so again we're going to need to come in with that silver polish, and you're going to need to make sure that your stamping plate is nice and clean again. So we're going to cleanse over. I want this bow here, so I'm going to cleanse over that bit there. Make sure you've got your jelly stamper and your scraper to hand. So again, just pop a bit of silver on, or your chosen stamping colour, scrape over, and then you're going to come over with this. So obviously you can pick whichever bow you want, okay, and whichever one you don't want to use, you're obviously going to use your sellotape to remove. Okay, so you should be able to see your bow through your jelly stamper, and I'm just going to place this onto my design. And then what you want to do then is come in with some more silver to create your dots coming up. So I'm just going to use After Hours. Pop a little bit on your plate. Get your dotting tool. And draw your line, draw your dot, sorry, coming up. And it literally is as simple as that. Now, if you wanted your bow to continue to trail down, you could obviously draw your bow coming down. You can add some other elements to it as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to pop, just because I just think it looks a little bit just plain on its own, I am going to add a little bit of something else to it as well. Adds a little bit more to the design there, and then that can go in and cure. So with this one I am going to just extend the legs of the bow down a little bit here. Okay, and that's your design, and then you can come in and top coat that then, and there you have them, all of the designs that we've just been through and created. So obviously you've got your Christmas tree design here that we've turned into a star design instead, and that is using your dog tooth. So you've got your red, your gold, your black and your white, which kind of makes it that Christmassy sort of effect. And obviously this is your other version of dog tooth. So you can use any colour and you can do it with anything. Then you've got obviously your stars. So we've got your chrome powder ones here over like a white background, and then we've used a green, and we've gone over with just your gel polish here and created your stars. Again, you can come in and pop a diamante in if you want to change that up a little bit as well. And then using your chrome powder as well, I've got here, that's just a Christmas tree. So it's exactly the same thing as we've done there with the star. The only difference is we've done a tree instead. And then along to this one here, so again your Christmas tree, and we've used that sort of tie-dye effect here where you place an alternate colour, so obviously white blue, alternate, and then using your brush over wet gel polish, you're then dragging that through to create that sort of different Christmas tree effect. And then I've just come in and just put a background in. Obviously if you wanted to, you could just do the whole Christmas tree in the centre. Exactly the same technique, alternate colours, drag your brush through sort of up to the top, and then you could always come in with a diamante at the top, or if you've got some stars or ones like that, you could pop that at the top of your Christmas tree if you wanted to, just to make it a little bit different. And then here we've got, so we've got like your green and your gold, and then obviously here you've got your different coloured pinks, and then I've just come in again to keep it sort of that Christmas theme. We've come in with your red and your gold and white. You could always use silver if you wanted to, or you could come in with your black, it's entirely up to you. And then to finish we've got a couple of different bauble effects here. So you've got your 3D one with your loop as your bauble rather than a bow if you wanted to. This is with freehand bows, but I've just shown you a quicker way of doing it, and that is by popping a stamping plate on to create your bow, and then if you want to make those tail parts of the bow a little bit longer, then you just sort of get a silver that's very similar and drag them down to create that sort of same effect. And then I've just gone in and added a little bit of extra detail with the dotting tool and the gold just to make it look a little bit more fancy. So have a play around and see what sort of colour combinations you can come up with, and see how you get on. If there's anything that you're unsure of, or you want me to just clarify it a little bit more in better detail, then pop me a comment below. As always, if you like these videos, please do like and subscribe to catch any future videos that I post. And if there is anything else that you'd like to see in terms of nail art, or anything to do with the plexi gels or removal or infills, anything like that, please just drop me a comment and let me know what you'd like to see on my channel. And do give my Nails by Charlotte Eds a follow on social media on my Instagram. All right guys, see you later, bye.